All right, everybody. Welcome to the week 3 review for the Strictly Business podcast. Tonight we have a special guest. Flipper, we need to hear your voice so the camera goes to you.
Nah. Nah. Nah.
Welcome to the show. How are we doing?
We're doing great.
Yeah?
Got a question for you, Commish.
What's that? Why isn't 60 yards, 6 points at busy? Great question.
Why is he asking that?
I mean, only Nick knows the answer to that. Josh fucking Gordon?
Like, he put a picture of him in the text string. Josh Gordon's going to save the season.
Yeah, exactly. I'm sure it is.
Can I get something off my chest?
Of course.
Can we stop with this good deal shit on the fucking text string? Or I'm just going to leave the text string. It's like watching fucking gay sex with Nick pegging everybody.
I don't want to have that visual, but
that's what
okay.
If I see it again, I'm leaving the text string. Good deal. Oh.
It's called sportsmanship. People want to, congratulate each other on doing a deal, and deals happen every day in this league. So that's how it goes. So Phil, let me ask you.
What?
You've heard me and John talk about your team, and naturally we both agree that the 1-2 record is not, a good, I guess, example of how, solid your team is. And coming off 172 plus points this week, getting your first win of the season. I mean, you tell me, how do you feel about your team?
I feel like everybody else, except those that are 0-3, I'm cautiously optimistic. I think I got a decent team. I don't have a great team. I don't have a busy team.
Okay, well, I guess thank you, but nonetheless, I was gonna say, I certainly, I was texting with an unnamed member of the league earlier today, and I said, that certainly I think RJ has a team comparable, if not better.
Jeff's got a team.
And Jeff too, yeah. Jeff's got a really good team, and so does John. When you look at Kyler Murray and D-Hop, I mean, those guys can carry you.
Yeah, D-Hop hasn't been working out too well for him, though.
No. So between you and I, Phil, and no one else, naturally, because this is being recorded, so it's only between you and I. I've been pushing for Russell Wilson, Tyler Lockett, for Kyler Murray, D-Hop base for like 2 weeks.
You're trying to not let Russell Wilson cook anymore before his mid-season downturn?
Well, this could be a different year too. This could be a different season. They have a new offensive coordinator, and normally the Seattle Seahawks are not 1-2, and they're 1-2 now. So you look at that and you think, okay, well, they need to pick it up, and they're playing the San Francisco 49ers this week, so they got to come in swinging. Are they 1-2 or are they 2-1? I can't keep up. I've been drinking whiskey all night. We're gonna have it in the now.
I'll get the whiskey. Hang on.
All right. You see, folks, I have mine. So.
Where's John?
John hasn't signed up yet. I'm gonna text him right now.
Tell him to stop being a little bitch.
Yeah.
Josh fucking Gordon.
Isn't that the epitome of what Nick does, though?
I got another topic of conversation.
You can't be a feeder team if you got no food.
So let's talk about Robbie Anderson for a second.
Oh, what do we need to talk about him for, Phil?
His profile picture. Do you remember a former Carolina Panther that showed up with that kind of hairdo before fantasy season?
Cam Newton?
Let me know how his career's gone since then.
Not good. Not good. I think it's safe to say Cam is doing exactly what you and I are doing right now.
It's smart.
Right? Except he's got a six-pack. Literally.
For now.
But he doesn't have a guitar.
Give him 6 months sitting right here with me. I'll get rid of that shit.
I bet you would. So, if and when John joins this podcast, let's go into your game, Phil, from last week. Like I said, you got to win, first win of the season. But as you've heard me and John talk, we firmly believe you're probably the best 1 and 2 team we've seen in a long time, based on the guys you got. Aaron Rodgers, he's starting to cook. Devontae Adams, he's just an absolute beast. Got 30 points this past week. 18 targets for Devontae. 12 for one.
Why do you think I took him number 6 overall?
It's crazy.
He's an animal.
Well, of course, we all watch that game, but it's like Aaron Rodgers, that's all he throws to. He doesn't even look at other receivers. But
he doesn't have to.
I have to tip my cap. I mean, Brandon Cooks was one of the better picks in the whole draft, Phil.
Yeah, that was a fucking lottery.
20.7, 18.3, and 21.2 in the first 3 weeks.
He's kind of in the same boat as Devontae in that they really have nobody else to throw to in that offense.
Bingo. Absolutely. And it doesn't matter if they got a backup quarterback or not. I mean, I'm sure you're happy to see Kittle come alive a little bit this week.
A little bit.
Yeah, a little bit, but it's more to come for sure. Melvin Gordon's been solid. Huh?
I'm going to ride him out. I'm not going to do what I always do and hit the fucking panic button in week 3, week 2. Trade my team away to Norm. Sorry, Norm. Every time Norm sends me a deal, I don't even fucking look at it. I just hit reject.
There you go.
I just can't. He's fucked me over like 3 years in a row with the early season deals. Not going to happen.
Well, you pegged him pretty good this week, Phil.
Pegged him?
Yeah.
Like, legs up?
Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah.
Yeah, I pretty much officially ended Norm's season.
Let's draft. You got to say
How'd that
something?
draft work out for you, Norm? Good luck digging out of that hole, bitch.
0-3 is a hole. 0-4 is a dumpster fire.
No, 0-3 is a hole. 0-4 is it's over.
Yeah.
Then you got to lock his team down and prevent him from becoming a feeder team. But he's got nothing to feed anybody with.
No, not
Garbage.
with the deal. Not with the deals he's been offering me. These value deals, which my team doesn't need, because that's all he's got is value guys.
He's got a lot of pretty solid bench guys.
Yeah.
To buy.
Yeah, he's waiting for one of them to blow so he could trade him to Ryan.
Speaking of Ryan.
You got to talk so the video goes to you.
It says, sorry, haven't looked at my phone. I think I'm good with deals, though. This is the number 9 team in the league. That's 1-2. 6 hours after he sat on a trade that I sent him.
Speaking of Ryan,
I'm good for now on trades.
Yeah. Well, speaking of Ryan, he did make some moves post this past week where he lost 162.1 to 119.52 to Mr. Ice Cream Man, RJ. Of course, RJ had Pat Mahomes, who had a modest week. Kelsey put it on. Jefferson showed up. Carson had a solid week, but really the Cardinals D bounced back. I want to get your take, Phil. Would you ever spend 200 fat bucks on a defense?
I'm sure RJ would if he could go back in time, he'd do it a little bit differently. But it's not all that dissimilar from what this guy did this week.
We're going to talk about that in a minute. Zach Moss, 150. So
he
Ryan
needs to be on here to fucking explain that.
Yeah, I know. And he will. He'll join eventually, I hope.
But it hasn't hurt RJ yet. He's still got a good team.
Oh, he's got a great team. He's got a great team. And as long as he doesn't have a feeder team.
Again, look at RJ's team and then look at the feeder team, and you tell me what would be an upgrade for RJ.
Nothing. Maybe some bench, capital for bye weeks. That's about it. All right, so
flexes.
Ryan falls to 1-2. RJ moves up to 3-0. I took out my cousin this week. No money, Mahomes. Early on, it looked like Rich was, going to kick my butt with 50 out of Josh Allen. He also had, 15 out of Keenan, 23.9 out of Emmanuel Sanders. Stephon Diggs, he still hasn't showed up. Kareem Hunt had 24. But then my team actually hit the field. Saints D early with 26. Najee with 26. And we'll just talk about Najee for a second. He had 19 targets.
Yeah, that's ridiculous.
For a running back.
Remember draft night? I was trying so hard to get him from you, and he fucking sucked.
Yeah. Week 1.
First couple weeks.
Well,
I was laughing at you.
Well, week 1, he had 5. Second week, he had 16.6. Now he's got 26, and he's ranked as the 6th overall back as of now.
Yeah, so Rich's problem is he's got way too much of his heart invested in his fantasy team this year.
I completely agree. I mean, his team, he had 6 starters that scored less than 5 points.
Yep.
I had 2, but those were masked.
A perfect indication is when your main team scores 43 points and you have all of those guys on your team, you still only put up 138. That's all your eggs in one basket.
Yeah. What up, John?
What up, boys?
What up?
What's up, John?
So we have a
Flipper.
I want to hear an explanation when we get to that point.
So Flipper has flashcards tonight, John. Just to fill you in. Welcome to the podcast, brother. We already started going.
Is that Flash with a PH?
Yeah. Oh yeah.
Yes.
Yeah. Yep.
Flash.
So we started with his game against Norm. Then we went to RJ and Ryan, just based on how the conversation's gone. And then we just recapped my game where I went up to 3-0. Rich unfortunately fell to 0-3. The next on the docket, probably the closest one of the week, Rick Talk versus the Bronx, 159.12 to Dave's 133.38. Now, I have to say, watching this match unfold, I thought Dave was going to take it. But Matt Stafford showed up. He dropped 42. Ricky got big.
Matt Stafford's the real deal, man. They did not bring him in there to fucking do nothing. And talk about an upgrade from fucking Mr. Goff.
No shit. 35, 20, and now 42 out of Stafford on the season. And they're only getting better.
Yeah, except Robbie hates Matt Stafford. They don't get along. They definitely don't peg each other.
Well, that's too bad. And, you know, I give Ricky credit because this was a huge game. Falling to 0-3 and going to 1-2, Phil, you know that feeling. It's a huge win. It's a huge win. Week 3, it keeps you in it. Falling to 0-3, it's a struggle bus. Ask Norm. Ask Rich.
Well,
so Dave falls to 1-2. His team kind of floundered. I mean, he really didn't have anybody that scored. I mean, his high scorer on the week was Lamar Jackson with 20.28. Everybody else, Madison, 25.1. But yeah, he kind of fell back to earth at 1-2.
Yeah, Ricky's got a sneaky good team. Tyreek hasn't even been Tyreek yet.
Yeah, agreed. I agree. Ricky's team's a sleeping giant because, I mean, Swift has put up points. James Robinson hasn't done shit, nor has Antonio Gibson.
Yep.
What about Kyle Pitts? Kyle Pitts really hasn't showed up yet. Ricky's missing a wide receiver. And Galladay, he sat him, even though he played. But Ricky's definitely missing a wide receiver here behind Tyreek. Otherwise, yeah, I agree. I think he's got a good team.
He's banking on Galladay, and Deontay's out.
Well, he traded Deontay earlier today, but he was out for week 3. So the next one to recap here, we'll go to this one. King of the Castle versus Mr. Toes. This one was a battle back and forth for a minute, but Jeff pulled away in the end, 171.18, 148.09. Again, McKeever's led by Tom Brady, he's on one this year. 38.16 week 1, 39.64 week 2, 40.68. He's the number 1 rated quarterback in our league right now, points wise.
And can we talk about the fact that he's about to go to New England for what could be the revenge game of the century?
Yeah.
You know what?
He could have 6 touchdowns.
I have a feeling Mr. Belichick's got something dialed up for that one.
He'd probably trade his soul for a win in this game.
So wait, you're going against the grain?
He's not looking to win, but I don't think you should expect 40 from Tom Brady this week.
It's in Foxborough.
I know.
That's
what does Belichick do better than any coach that has ever coached in the league ever do?
Against his former quarterbacks, he shuts them the fuck out.
He takes away your best player.
He fucking pegs his former quarterbacks is what he does.
Yeah, with the pylon.
Like this.
With the pylon.
I mean, most of the guys you're talking about are like Matt Castle and shit. We're not talking about Tom Brady here.
I bet you Tom Brady could fit a pylon in there.
No, if I were Jeff, I would bench Tom Brady.
Yeah, after those statistics I just read, yeah, let's bench him week 4.
I'd start Teddy B instead for you Denver folks.
Because Denver's playing Baltimore. Smart move. Good job, coach. Good job, coach. Well, Nicky left 20.9 on the bench with CEH, and I think he did that because I bashed the shit out of CEH on the podcast last week.
No, I mean, he had 5 legit running backs, and CEH was his 5th back. That was the guy to bench.
Bro,
Just blew up in his face.
no one's run against the New Orleans defense, and Damian Harris had 2.1. His combined, his starting running backs had 11.1. Jonathan Taylor had 7.7. Obviously, Aaron Jones had a good game, 16.6. But you left your highest scoring running back on the bench. Now, that's the problem when you have 5 or 6 running backs to choose from.
Mm-hmm.
Then you're forced to make a decision. And even before this podcast aired, Nicky moved a running back to free up maybe that decision-making process. I don't know. We'll talk about that in a moment. But again, McKeever, he's got a good team. I've said this before. I'll say it again. I love DJ Moore. Love DJ Moore. Saquon showed up with 18.4. Eckler, 19.7. We talked about Brady. Godwin had a solid week. I mean, again, McKeever's got a good team. He's the number 4 ranked team in our league after 3 weeks, and he's in my division. Thankfully, I got a win against him week 1, which was huge. That's his only loss.
Can we get an explanation on the team name versus his actual name, King of the Castle, Ling of the Castle?
There has been no explanation from the King of the Castle. So
was it a typo on his behalf?
No.
Okay.
Highly doubt.
Post L on the keyboard.
They're right next to each other.
That's why I'm thinking it may have been a typo.
I don't think so. Because you can still change your profile name, which mine is just Biz. I can change it to whatever I want. You know, you got Nikki P, you got Norm, you know, you got RJ, you got Carl, you know, you got these names. John.
You know, like our name, so we know who we're dealing with. Well,
I think
fuck Jeff and his team anyway, because all I did was ask him what he was looking to get for Eckler, and it wound up being Devontae Adams had to be in that deal for Eckler. Get the fuck out of here. Get the fuck out.
All right, Jeff. Yeah, well, no one will be dealing with Jeff unless it's a snippet. Of course, Jeff's always got to get a McSqueeze, you know, a little Jedge.
Oh, that's fucking Jedge if I ever saw one.
Yeah, well, that's where the term comes from. Jeff and Edge. Jedge. Seems legit. Eckler for Adams. Not. Well, either way.
It wasn't Eckler for Adams.
Okay.
It was the precursor for Eckler to Adams by saying basically Adams has to be involved in that deal.
Ugh. I just threw up in my mouth.
Me too.
And it's not
I did like 4 times today.
You do that every day.
No, not every day.
All right. Well, on Wednesdays. So McKeever moves up to 2-1. Nicky falls to 1-2. So the defending champ's got some work to do.
Hey,
now,
Nick. Hey, Nick. Hey, Nick. See you this week. And fuck the Chargers.
I know. He's all in on the Chargers. Just move to LA, Nick. What are you doing? All right. So, John, I forget who we named as the game of the week. Wasn't it you versus Carl, or was it the Norm game against Phil?
It was Norm and Phil. It wasn't me and Carl.
It really wasn't the game of the week, though.
The game of the week.
Norm's team was done by like 1:25 on Sunday.
That's 11:25 for us, Busy.
Yeah, I know. That's what I'm saying. Eastern Standard Time. First quarter wasn't even over yet.
No, it was literally 2 minutes left in the first quarter, and Norm was done.
Well, I got a text message at, what was it? John, what time did I show it to you? It was like 4 o'clock Mountain Time, so 6 o'clock East Coast. Congrats. Good win. Way to beat a team while they're down. Rich is just down in the dumps. He's just, oh man. He reminds me of McKeever in years past. Just negative Nancy.
He's Rich has pieces.
Yeah, he does. He just won't trade
gotta
them.
Mix them up a little bit.
He won't trade those connects. All right, John, your game. Talk to me.
Yo.
Talk to me. Carl nipped you, but just over a point.
I mean, it was a complete shit show. It was a race to 100. And, with injuries galore, who left? Juju left. Odell didn't leave. A.J. Brown, Christian McCaffrey, James White. Like, it was a complete and utter fucking mash unit between our two teams. Arizona they were in just some weird fucking game down in Jacksonville, so.
It's that early start. It's that early start for the West Coast team. That's always a scary, scary start.
For sure. But I'll tell you what, Monday night sure made things interesting. Zeke.
You guys were shitting yourselves.
Yeah.
It had a feeling for me all week long that it was coming up a little short. So I wasn't surprised. I was surprised with the night Zeke and Pollard combined put up. They almost completely closed that gap. I was on the fucking cusp of like 3 different bonuses for yardage, so that felt real gross. But hiccup,
For sure.
Squad still showed up in some places and wasn't in a couple others. So Carl squeaked one out. Good thing he made that last minute quarterback change, Kirk Cousins.
Yeah, 36 plus.
Yep.
I didn't see what Daniel Jones ended with, but I know it wasn't 36.
And sure shit wasn't 36.
Yeah.
Well, I can offer you a little bit of consolation in that at least you outscored Norm last week by a couple points anyway. Right?
Yo, I'll take that shit with the Nook decoy and James White getting carted off the field.
It can't make you feel good though that you got outscored by, I think, Ryan.
Don't think so.
No, 0.07 points.
So suck my asshole.
Well, either way, I think it goes without saying, but John's got a way better team than both Ryan and Norm.
Yeah, it was an off week. It's not a panic time at all for my team.
Oh, is that what you're calling it? So,
little Flipper showed up and finally won a game, and his little penis grew a quarter inch, and he's here to talk shit. Oh, wow. Wow, is that how it goes, Flip?
I love my team.
Yeah, you love 1 and 2?
I love my team.
And?
How much do you love your team?
Fucking amazing, bruh.
Dude, you just sent your team to the gallows with that right there.
For what gallows? What the fuck do you think is coming up out of this player pool that was worth saving the money for? Zach Moss is a 2-3 running back. When does that kind of talent come out? Not to mention, last week I traded Zach Moss for Tony Pollard, who everyone in this league would have dropped every penny of their fab on. So just get the fuck out of here. Just get the fuck out of here with your sadness because you missed your guy.
Flex starter at best.
And he is miles and miles better than anybody on your roster.
Miles?
And Miles. Which one? I'll put him against either one of them bitches.
Wow. All right. $100. Your Moss against either of my Miles rest of year for points. $100.
Either one.
You pick.
No, you pick. I'll take both. You want to sit there and run your mouth about it?
Wait a minute. You're saying Zach Moss is going to outscore 2 Miles the rest of the way.
But not combined. Not combined. The way I read this is it's Miles Sanders and Myles Gaskin individually against Zach Moss the rest of the way.
I'll take it.
$100.
Done. Wow.
Miles and Miles better than the running backs on your team.
You know what I'm going to buy with that $100?
Nothing, because it ain't going to be there.
A meter stick.
Nope. A double-ended automatic dildo pegger.
Hey, don't come begging for it when Singletary's hurt next week.
John's gonna be like this. Give it to me. Give it to me.
When I upload the video to YouTube, it asks me if this video is safe for kids. Because Phil is on the video, I have to click no.
Why? I haven't shown any dad parts. Nipples. Nothing.
Oh man.
Who gives a shit? So can we pivot to let's talk about
transactions.
The best and worst 3-0 team.
Sure. Rank
so who's 3-0?
Me, RJ, and Carl.
Okay. I think, honestly, Biz, you have the best 3-0 team, followed by RJ, and Carl's team is fucking pretending.
Okay. I agree with that. I think
Carl's team is pretending. Fucking hammies. Shut up, Phil, you idiot.
0-3 teams. Who's the best 0-3 team, Phil?
We don't even need to talk about them because their season's already over.
It's Rich and Norm. They're both done?
That's a waste of fucking airtime. We only got how many minutes with Zoom?
Probably 20 left. We still got to get into transactions and week 4 preview.
All
right. So transactions. Ryan this week, he traded Carl, Alvin Kamara, and Deebo Samuel for Joe Mixon and Terry McLaurin. Obviously, Ryan thinks that the Saints offense is not good.
It's really not.
It's not.
It's really not. I have a hard time taking a side in that deal, to be honest.
Ryan just then picked up Deontay Johnson for Robert Woods straight up. I think Ricky beat him in that deal. I like Robert Woods, but Robert Woods hasn't done shit.
And he didn't get a little extra cream on top for giving him the connection either.
Nope.
Right. There was no tax.
No, that was a freebie.
Yeah, big time. And then going into waiver wire pickups, Tyler Conklin got picked up, Marlon Mack, the Atlanta defense. Phil, 22 fat bucks on the Atlanta D, huh? You like your schedule?
I had to do something. Yeah, they got a decent schedule.
Okay. You know, Ricky hasn't spent a single dollar on Fab, nor has Norm.
You know why? Because their teams are fucking perfect.
I beg to differ, but nonetheless, I picked up Dalton Schultz. Dawson Knox went to Jeff. Kadarius Toney. Carl spent $20 on Kadarius Toney and then dropped him.
Dropped him. I saw
An
that.
hour later to pick up Deshaun Jackson.
Hey, Carl, shut up, you idiot.
John, you picked up a couple of backup backs for $1. You see something there with Alex Collins or Taylor?
I mean, Collins is a stab. Carson's a little nicked up, and Collins tends to come in and do good when Carson's hurt. So complete stab in the dark. Likely the guy I'm going to end up dropping tomorrow as soon as Antonio clears COVID.
You just say he comes in and do good.
Yeah. Do you remember Alex Collins, Phil, or was that one of the years you quit and weren't watching?
No, you said he comes in and do good. That's not English.
I said does good, Phil. And if I didn't, I apologize.
I think you might have said do good. He's a
Okay.
do-gooder.
He's a do-gooder. Okay. Well, anyway, yeah, nothing crazy there. I mean, just dollars, stab in the dark, running backs,
So, and that makes sense. You might as well take a shot every once in a while. Then the 2 0-3 teams did a deal. Norm got AJ Green, Keenan Allen, and Leonard Fournette for Adam Thielen, Noah Fant, and David Montgomery. I mean, I think this is a pretty good deal. Honestly.
Yeah,
I don't know how to read that, but then Norm turned around an hour later and traded Keenan Allen to Nicky with J.D. McKissick, Tyler Bass. Like a kicker got traded, Phil?
fucking kickers.
That's what I'm saying.
It was the drop. It was the drop. It was the, just throw in whoever else you're going to drop in that deal. Nicky immediately dropped Bass.
Yeah, well, I think Norm got him in this deal with Naheem Hines, Jonathan Taylor, and Marquise Stonehands Brown.
Marquise Stonehands Brown.
To be had a monster night.
If you guys, no, I think that Norm probably could have gotten a little more out of Nicky because that gave Nicky the Chargers transformer. That gave him the triple stack, and not just like a triple stack. He got the A, the B, and the C in that.
Yeah. Yeah, you're right.
Like it's going to be very hard to beat Nicky if the fucking Chargers put up 35 points.
Yeah, I get to face that this week. So Norm was just being a fucking feeder team to beat the team that just fucking smoked his ass.
I doubt that's why Norm did it, but you never know. So Carl got Christian Kirk for Deshaun Jackson and the Tennessee Titans defense. Now, a lot of people would overlook the Titans defense because they had -5, 2, and 8.
They're scheduled.
They're playing the Jets this week though.
And then they play Jacksonville next week.
Yeah.
So, and they haven't been that terrible. So thank you, Carl, for feeding RJ with that deal. Although Christian Kirk's been off to a good start. I mean, John, you've watched a lot of those games. I mean, they have 2, 3 wide receivers. Christian Kirk is in that mix.
Yeah, I mean, while Nook's a little banged up, it's just going to be pick your wide receiver. Each one's going to have a big week. Maybe 2 of them are going to have moderate weeks, So that's all these guys are. Even Nook, for the time being, is kind of in that category of just, hope he's the guy this week to catch one in the end zone.
Yeah. Agreed. Agreed. I mean, other than that, there's been some minimal pickups. Carl certainly, saw the value with Christian Kirk there, and that's why he jumped on that deal. Not a terrible deal, but given RJ, who's the 2, 3-0 teams there, Certainly a leg up when it comes to defensive matchups after spending $200 on your defense. I mean,
Why
RJ's got
why did you skip over my moves?
your moves.
Yeah.
What did, hold on, Phil.
I dropped Robbie Gould for Mason Crosby.
Yeah, huge. 1 week too late.
Kickers!
I saw that now.
Kickers!
Okay. And that's why I just screamed right by it. So
I love kickers.
yeah,
I love kickers.
weed is a hell of a drug. Yes, it is. All right.
This is Carl. And I love Carl. Why doesn't Carl ever come on this thing?
It's a good question.
When am I going to see Carl's face?
I don't know.
Or Ricky's? Call him out. Get him on here.
Yeah, you're right.
Bitches.
Them motherfuckers ain't coming on this shit. They don't
Dial
give a
up.
fuck.
I don't think Carl and Ricky stay up as late as you, Phil.
Yes, they do.
In their dreams, literally.
During pegging season.
Well, that starts October 1st. So on the East Coast, we're 24 hours from pegging season, Phil.
So, Commish, are you gonna make a move to change 60-yard field goals to 6 points?
No. It's 50 plus. Just like, I manually adjusted the schedule this week, and I'm glad you brought that up, Phil, because I want to talk about that. Before the season, I was in Vegas, as most of you know, and, I was pretty fucking hammered one night, and I decided to handwrite out our schedule. And that's why there's all the scribblies on the picture that I sent, especially in week 9, because that's when shit started to get blurry. But nonetheless, I made it work, and I input everything to a T. Then I went downstairs, and I'm not even kidding when I say I won $1,000 on a slot machine within 30 minutes. Then I lost it. But point is,
I lost it.
Well, the casino always wins, I had a great time though. I did our schedule. I was blackout drunk in Vegas. And I was at Mandalay Bay, and I had a great time. And that's how our schedule was. I mean, doesn't that fit the strictly business protocol?
It does. It does, but I couldn't make heads or tails out of your fucking chicken scratch that you sent in the group text.
You got to double click and zoom in.
No, it still didn't add up to me, but I'm gonna trust your commissionally judgment that you did it right. But now it means I got to play fucking John and his pegging team 3 times.
3 times? You're not playing them 3 times.
That's what the schedule says.
No. You stop. All right. Stop looking at it through your bad eye. All right.
I got 2 good eyes.
Yeah. Okay. Well, reread it again. Because you're not playing John 3 times. John, pull it up, please.
I'm looking right now.
I know.
Does it mean I get to play Norm 3 times?
No, you're not playing anyone.
Please.
All right, look, we only got 10 minutes left of the free time. So
All right,
we need
still got to preview the matchups.
Here we go. Cooking with Russ against God Hates Me. 1 and 2.
Over.
All right, versus 3-0. Game over. Okay. Carl versus Rick Talk. 3-0 versus 1 and 2. This could be a matchup here.
That's going to be a good one.
I think Ricky, given Carl's injuries, Ricky could take this one. For sure. Kamara's playing the Giants, though. Norm, 0-3 versus Ice Cream Man, 3-0.
That's not even worth oxygen. Go.
Hold on. Just listen to this lineup. Tannehill, Fournette, Jonathan Taylor, Julio Jones, who's fighting a hamstring. Stonehands Brown, Ayuk, Gronk, who's hurt, Will Fuller, Hardman, Cowboys D versus Carolina. That's Norm's starting lineup.
Squad thick. What, dude?
Name me a stud. Name me a stud in that lineup, fellas.
Wait. Right there. The bottom part of that, right there.
So you're telling me there's a chance. All right, next we got Dave, the Bronx.
Watch him fucking win.
1-2 versus McKeever, 2-1. I gotta say, this is gonna be a close one. You got Lamar, Delvin Cook, Nick Chubb, Pittman, Claypool, Waddle, Waller, Sutton, Williams, McManus. Basically half the Broncos team versus McKeever's team. Again, I think this is going to be a good matchup. I think it's going to be closer than people think.
If the Broncos play well, it'll be a good matchup.
And also, we got Tom Brady facing New England at New England. John, any thoughts on that game?
I'm excited for it. It's going to be a historic night. Brady's going to rail. We already talked a little bit about it, man.
Sure.
I think Brady's going to go out there and try to put up 600 yards and 6 touchdowns. I think it could be a huge night if Gronk's healthy enough to play for, Gronk. Yeah.
I would say Gronk plays just because it's in New England and the emotion behind it. Even if he's not 100%, he's going to play.
Right, but like Flipper said, what are you really going to count out Belichick? Have something up his sleeve against the guy he coached for 20 fucking years? Like,
and can we just say this past Sunday night game was like one of the best football games I've ever seen in my life. If you're expecting that type of game for this game, get it out of your head. It's not going to be that good.
No, I agree. I think Tampa Bay goes in and rolls them. Honestly, I hate to say this, John, but I really think New England's not that good.
No, they suck.
I don't think they suck, but I just don't think they're that good.
No,
they're a defensive team with a rookie quarterback. There's no flash. There's no. They don't suck. I'd rather be where they're at than the Giants right now. That's for goddamn sure.
I will not dispute that a bit,
but they've got a thick defense and a rookie quarterback. They are what they are. They're not going to be a Tom Brady led 2017. If they're going to win, they're going to win in a sloppy way that those really early 2000 Patriots won.
We shall see how great their defense is this week.
All right, so let me throw this at you, John. What if the Giants shock the world and beat the Saints this week, and everyone, and the Bucs do what everyone thinks they're going to do? Now the New England Patriots and the New York Giants are both 1-3.
Well, if an if was a spliff, we'd all be fucked up, man. It's a long way to go talking about beating them Saints.
I'm already catching a contact high, so you know me, Mr. Optimistic. All right, John, 2-1 against Rich. No money Mahomes, 0-3. You got a bounce back game with Kyler, but they're playing LA. How do you feel about that this week?
I feel great, man. I think it's going to be a shootout. Look what Brady just did to LA. And I mean, I'm not saying Kyler is Brady by any stretch, but I mean, he's going to have a chance to be very, very robust offensively.
You got to be a little nervous when Josh Allen is playing against Houston. Kareem Hunt's going against Minnesota. Montgomery's going against Detroit.
He's got a lot of great matchups.
I hate to say it, John, but this is a fucking trap game for you, bud.
I'm not overlooking it at all. I know Rich has got a squad that can win.
This is where Rich's team kind of comes into its own and kind of blows up. So choose your lineup carefully.
Lastly,
don't make another one of those 5 minutes before game time lineup changes. Those kill you every time.
I don't think he will. Now, lastly, we got the game of the week here, and that's because we got a special game picker and Licky Nicky Normie Puss versus Mr. Toes. Both teams are 1-2. Phil, what are you gonna do to the two-time defending champ?
I'm gonna do that right there.
Okay.
Right in his bum hole. right in the small hole.
Now the problem is, the only thing I see as a problem here is that Nicky has 3 guys going on Monday night, all of his Chargers. Then he's got a Sunday night with Damian Harris against Tampa Bay, which I think is a bad start. I wouldn't be starting Damian Harris against the stingy Tampa Bay D. And Flipper, your team, except for Aaron Rodgers and Devontae Adams, okay, Kittle, Gordon. Okay, you got a couple guys, but everybody's going Sunday afternoon.
Yep.
Talk to
My
me.
team is done by 7:30 on Sunday, and I'm gonna sit back and watch Nick sweat it out on Monday night.
Right on. Are you predicting a victory? I would hope so.
Yep.
Okay. All right. Phil, that would bring you to 2-2. Obviously, Nick, he would fall to 1-3, which would be a devastating hole to dig himself out of.
No,
So-
I am fixing to end Nick's season this week.
You know what?
Now, what would happen if the Chargers go balls deep? Does that then in turn make your season balls deep? Are you done at that point at 1-3, Flip?
Now, look at my team versus the worst 3-0 team in the league, which happens to be in our division. I ain't worried.
Yeah, that makes sense.
Well, that hat screams confidence. I'm not gonna lie.
Well, especially with an extra game this year too, in the regular season, you got 14 weeks instead of 13, so you got another week. You know, and Phil, that is an incredible hat, I must say.
Thank you.
That's
Glad
green.
you like it.
Grab the reins. Giddy up.
Nick's going to be wearing this by first quarter Monday night.
I don't think Nick's head will fit in that hat.
No, he's going to be wearing it here.
Oh,
No, don't put it in there. No, it hurts.
all right, gentlemen, we got about a minute left. John, any parting shots?
Oh no, man. Bless you.
Jeez.
That's Mark's parting shot.
Yeah, I took my time. Fuck.
Good night, Nicky Poo.
All right. Well, John,
I love you,
you're
Nick.
gonna bounce back from a loss this week or what? You're gonna kick the proverbial horse while he's down?
Oh, Ranger Rick's going down this week.
Right on. Phil, always a pleasure to have you. Thanks so much for showing up. You made our night that much more special. We love you, brother. Good luck this week.
Good night, guys. Have fun, boys.
All right. Over and
Happy
out.
All right. See ya.
See you.